So digging a little bit deeper into that why ArcBoss question, and we're going to highlight all the different advantages in their own separate video. We'll start with performance. Performance is where the money's made. The performance shows up in two areas primarily, and it shows up very fast. The hardest weld you're going to ever make with an ArcBoss unit is the very first one. From a performance perspective and the ability to reset that unit, once you find the parameters for every different size of pipe or wall thickness or composition of material, once you find those parameters, it's really quickly to document that stuff, come back, and 6 months later when that job comes back through, you jump right back to those same parameters and you're off welding. So from a performance perspective, the very first thing you're going to be able to see real quickly is the aesthetic performance. It's not necessarily the most important thing, but it shows up real quickly. In other words, we have the ability to move from bay to bay or around a workpiece, and the ArcBoss unit gives you the ability to have all of the welds across your shop start looking just like one another. And that shows up really fast. Inspectors like that. Companies like customers really like that because their product starts to begin to have some stability or scalability. That performance shows up in just the speed in which you can work. I've been into tank shops. In one in particular, we were there. I was talking to an engineer. It's a 10-foot diameter tank. They said, we stop welding by hand. He said, our welders stop on average of 29 times around that tank. They said they allowed 4 hours to make that weld. And if their guys were really on top of it, hustling, they can make that weld in about 2 to 2.5 hours. Our very first weld we made in 50 minutes. The second weld we made it in 40 minutes. How do we do that? We don't weld any faster than they weld, than a human can weld. That's really what controls how fast a weld can be made is how much heat can a man stand. And with this system right here, once you strike that arc, you don't have to stop. The operator's in a very comfortable position and you just keep right on rolling. And that's where the performance gains are made. It's the biggest thing is going to show up in the what is called in the industry hood downtime, arc on time, those things right there. We don't have to stop. And so that's where this ArcBoss unit at $13,000 is going to pay for itself very, very fast. Performance.